scevere vennannavara va strongevere vennizin mestuzu guru sefta va plani dirivides yavara guru damun trialala.
One of the most beautiful villages in Cyprus, Omodos nestles in the southern foothills of the Troodos Mountains. At an altitude of 900 meters, Omodos is in the center of the famous wine-making region of the country and is only a 30-minute drive from Limassol town. For the Greek name of the village, the predominant interpretations are the following three. 1. Coming from the Cypriot word modos, which means taking your time with tact carefully. The inhabitants of Cupetra, after observing a light at the opposite mountain every night, went to see what was going on, and found that the light was coming out of a thick and unapproachable prickly bush. In order to get through it, they had to cut it down, telling one another, mi, to, modo, so, meaning, take your time, act carefully, until they finally entered the cave with a wooden cross and a candle inside. 2. Many streets that lead to the surrounding villages start from the village. Out of the adverb homo, with, and the word odos, street, homodos was formed. 3. It is reported in Frank documents that the feudal lord Homodeus lived in the region, and it is very probable that the village was named after him. Since ancient times, Omodos is renowned for its superb grapes and tasty wines. According to tradition, of excellent quality and sweet-smelling wines, Aphames, which took its name from the mountain that bears the same name and is located east of the village, was the cause for the island being conquered by the inebriate Sultan Selim II, so that he could have this famous wine as his own. Omodos, built at the slope of the mountain, between a verdant carpet of vines, surrounded by mountains that appear as though they were placed in a masterly layout, is one of the most picturesque villages of Cyprus. The large plaza of the village, unique in its graphic quality and size, in front of the majestic monastery of the Holy Cross, the medieval wine press, the narrow alleys, and the stone-made houses, all drowned in green, lend a special beauty and charm to the village. Moreover, the village's houses themselves present some interest as far as folkloric architecture is concerned, with the tiled roofs or terraces, the picturesque upper stories, the paved and flowery yards with jars inside, the wooden doors and the variously decorated gateways, and the balconies and elongated rooms being the main elements. Folkloric art is also preserved in a traditional manner inside the houses, where one can observe the old, tall bed with the in-roughed mosquito net, the chiseled couch, the chairs with straw fiber, the walls decorated with frames made out of silkworm cocoons, the fire stove and chimney with its copper-made pots, the testos, wicker-made hamper, and the tatia, very fine sieve. In addition, the large red jars used for the storage of wine are found in the house's stockroom, which is above everything else a workroom for the processing of grapes. The old plough, the wineskin, the grapes grinder, the hampers, and the cauldron for the zivania are also still preserved. However, what characterizes the inhabitant of Omodos is his or her immensely big heart and traditional hospitality he or she offers. One cannot find a similar one in almost any other part of Cyprus. In order to strongly comprehend all this, you must live in this place along with these people and all those elements that it is composed of. The French president of the Worldwide Association of Tourism Journalists and Traveling Writers said that there were two places in the entire world that made a strong impression on him, the Machu Picchu of the Inca tribe in Peru of Latin America, and the village Omodos of Cyprus. Omodos is, perhaps, one of the few villages that keeps unadulterated its old beauty and its absolutely Cypriot character. The known medieval wine press, found at a small distance from the Holy Cross Monastery, is evidence to the fact that production of traditional wine took place in Omodos since ancient times. The inhabitants of Omodos, apart from growing vines and producing excellent wine and zivania, traditional alcoholic beverage, also handle the making of sotsokos, must stick with almonds, paludze, must jelly, kiofterka, dried must jelly in rhomboid pieces, and kulurka, rusks. The Arkatina kulurka, crunchy rusks with yeast, of Omodos are also well known and sought after throughout Cyprus. Also genuine and of excellent taste sweets are made out of local fruits. Home handicraft flourishes in Omodos. The village's women, apart from the plentiful and hard work that they offer net to their husbands for the cultivation of the earth, are also occupied with handmade embroideries, making wonderful brocades, tablecloths, threaded quilts, and narrow knit and chantilly laces. The village is built around the monastery of the Holy Cross, which, according to records, dates back to the arrival of Saint Helena in Cyprus, AD 337. The monastery is home to a piece of the holy robe with which Christ's hands were tied to the cross. The monastic building houses a museum with Byzantine icons, a museum of folk art, the National Liberation Uprising Museum. In the center of the monastery, an imposing church stands having a gilded icon stand inside, dating back to 1817. Within the church, valuable relics are kept, such as fragments of saintly bones and the skull of Saint Philip. In front of the monastery there is a colorful cobblestone square covering an area of 3,000 square meters, surrounded by coffee houses, tavernas, and shops. The square is the only one of its kind in Cyprus. The medieval Linos wine press is one of the oldest in Cyprus and a representative example of traditional craftsmanship and winemaking techniques. Everybody can, particularly attracted by the village's narrow alleys and wood-crafted verandas overlooking the streets, which are filled with colored flower pots in every corner and yard, but above all by the legendary hospitality of the inhabitants. Refurbished traditional homes and guest houses offer a unique living experience of village life.